Sonic's Green Hills Adventures Season 5 Chapter 10 Home Invasion Part 2. Modern Sonic's point of view.
Several hours after we went to bed, I heard Movie Sonic whimpering again, so I woke up and carefully approached Movie Sonic's bed. He was tossing and turning again. I was about to wake him up when he shot up. "Marina!" "Whoa, calm down, Movie Sonic, it's just me," I said as I saw he was startled when he saw me.
Oh, sorry, Modern. I just can't sleep properly while Marina is on Mobius. So many scenarios kept playing in my nightmare.
Movie Sonic said as he calmed his breathing down. "It's okay, it will save her," I said reassuringly.
Movie Sonic's point of view.
I wiped my tears away and was about to reply when I heard something from outside. My heart was pounding in my head as I carefully snuck up to my balcony door. My heart practically stopped at what I saw. It was the Echidna tribe. They were ready for another ambush. I carefully but quickly backed away from the door.
"Movie Sonic? What's wrong?"
Modern Sonic asked, which thankfully got me out of my panicked trance. "The tribe is here. It's another ambush," I said shakily as I recovered and took deep breaths to calm myself down further.
"Oh boy, we better tell the others fast."
Modern says he took my hand and we hurried out of my room and into Anika's nursery. "Silver, wake up! Please wake up! The Echidnas are here!" I said as I shook him awake.
What? But what do we do now?
"First, we have to get Anika to safety. She's the most vulnerable," I replied as I carefully took Anika out of her crib.
Oh, how about Aunt Rachel's?
"That's brilliant, little bro," said Shadow must do it since he can teleport. I said as we left the room and headed to Shadows.
Movie Shadow's point of view.
I was surprised at how peacefully I was sleeping tonight after what happened. However, I was suddenly woken up by my brothers. "Huh? What's going on?" I asked as my eyes adjusted and I shook off the last bit of sleep from my mind. That's when I saw the panic in their eyes.
"The Echidna tribe is here. We need you to take Anika to Aunt Rachel's for her safety."
Sonic explained quickly as I took Anika into my arms carefully so we wouldn't wake her. I simply nodded and did just that. "Don't worry, Anika. We'll be okay. Somehow," I said to her softly before teleporting back. Mission accomplished. "So does anyone have a plan?" I asked seriously, but before anyone could answer, Sonic took out his phone. He was reading something as he looked even more horrified. "Sonic, what is it?"
"It's a text from Commander Jonathan. Robotnik, Jade, and Veronica have escaped."
Before we could verbally react, there was a crash downstairs, followed by Ozzy barking, and it sounded territorial.
"Oh no, Ozzy!"
Sonic said as we all hurried out of the room. Then Longclaw joined us.
What was that? What's going on?
Movie Sonic's point of view.
That's when I mentally froze up. How do I even tell her that the very people that separated us originally were here? I tried to get the words out, but all that came out was a choked sob.
Sonic?
"But they're here, the Echidna tribe," I said shakily as my eyes watered.
What? Well, don't worry, Sonic. You are much stronger now, and you're not facing them alone.
Longclaw said encouragingly, and she was right. "Thanks, Longclaw. We can do this. But let's hurry," I said, full determination as we ran as fast as we could downstairs. When we got there, they were coming in. Some of them cornered Ozzy and the others surrounded our parents. "Mom! Dad!" I cried as the vivid memory of the nightmare from the other night returned. It made me freeze up, unsure on what to do. Then one of them turned to us. It looked like the chief.
Well, if it isn't the hedgehog who caused us so much trouble all these years, well, you're not getting away this time.
The Echidna chief said as he and Knuckles walked up to me. "Oh, I don't think so," I said challengingly.
Don't be foolish, Hedgehog. You are extremely outnumbered.
Oh, and if it isn't Longclaw, you're going to pay for delaying us for this many years.
The chief said as he pointed his spear at her threateningly. "Hey, stay away from her! In fact, stay away from my family!" I demanded as I charged at him. However, Knuckles grabbed me.
"Sonic! Knuckles, let him go!"
Never, and you will be joining him.
"Fine. You asked for it. Chaos Spear.
Shadow replied, and the Chaos Spear landed on Knuckles' shoulder, which gave me the opportunity to charge successfully at the chief. Then I pinned him down. How dare you threaten my loved ones again? I won't let you lay a finger on them, nor me, I exclaimed as my Chaos ability charged up.
Wait, take your hands off of him, or else they will suffer.
One of the echidnas surrounding Mom and Dad said, as she held her spear dangerously close to Mom's throat. Okay, just don't hurt them, I said as I reluctantly got off the chief.
Good. Now take them away. They'll serve as perfect leverage.
The chief ordered as they forced our parents to exit the house. No! Mom! Dad! I cried as I almost ran after them, but Modern held me back. Modern, what are you doing? Let me go! They need us! I begged as tears fell from my eyes as I tried desperately to get past him.
I know, but there's only one way to help them right now, and that's by not giving the echidnas a reason to hurt them.
Now, to get you to our village.
Knuckles said as he took out a portal ring. Please, don't do this! I begged desperately, but they just ignored me and he threw the ring under us.
Marina's point of view.
Not long after they ignored me, Robotnik turned to Jade and Veronica.
You two stand guard. I have to start preparing the machine that will take the Hedgehog's powers out of him.
Robotnik instructed as he began to leave.
You can count on us, Dr. Robotnik.
They saluted him and laughed maniacally. I didn't know why what just happened didn't hit me until now. But it did, and I started to panic, so I backed up into the farthest corner of the cell and curled up into my ball form as I began mumbling to myself. After several minutes, I heard the familiar sound of a ring portal opening, only this time it sounded like two of them. So I allowed my eyes to be visible and saw two portal rings and people walking through them. One was the echidnas, Tom and Maddie, and the other was Movie Knuckles, the Chief, Longclaw, Modern Sonic, and the Wachowski brothers. No, this can't be happening, I said as my panicking got worse as I began to tremble and tears fell from my eyes.
Movie Sonic's point of view.
Once we recovered from landing on the ground thanks to the portal, I saw Marina in the cell just a few feet away from us, with Jade and Veronica guarding her. I could tell she wasn't handling the situation well, so before anyone could stop me, I dashed over to the cell. Marina, it's okay, I'm here. We'll get out of this, I promise, I said, hoping to calm her down. Slowly, her breathing went back to normal. Then she ran over to me in tears.
Oh, Sonic!
Marina cried as she attempted to hug me through the bars, but it wasn't enough to allow us to do so.
Sonic, Robotnik is here too. It's so bad. Robotnik's helping them with getting your powers. He said he was going to make it as painful as possible.
Suddenly I heard grunts of pain and turned to the others, and the echidnas grabbed my loved ones tightly as they forced them to head towards the cell. All except Longclaw and our parents.
Wait, where are you taking them?
Shadow demanded fearfully as I froze momentarily.
We're taking them to a cell on the other side of the village. We're not taking any chances.
The chief replied as Knuckles grabbed me. No! Mom! Dad! Longclaw! Come back! I cried as I was pushed into the cell with Marina and the others not too far behind me. Then I tried to run towards the door before Knuckles could close it. However, he beat me to it. I swear, if you hurt them, I started to say when Modern pulled me back.
Whoa, calm down, Movie Sonic. We need to keep our heads.
Modern said as my breathing slowed down. Then he let me go and I ran into Marina's arms. Oh, Marina, are you okay? Did they hurt you? I'm so sorry you got dragged into this, I said as I lost it.
Marina's point of view.
I held Sonic closer. Hey, I don't blame you for any of this. It's okay. We'll get out of this, I said as I kissed his cheek.
Thanks, Marina. I needed that. But what happens now?
Sonic asked as the others joined in on the hug. However, before he could answer, Robotnik walked up to our cell while Knuckles left to guard the other cell.
Since we're not taking any chances, I made these special cuffs.
Robotnik said as he entered the cell. He walked up to Sonic and put the cuffs on him. I knew it was because his parents were trapped on the other side of the village, and he wouldn't risk them getting hurt for him resisting. All of a sudden, he screamed in pain as I noticed electricity coursing through the cuffs. Sonic! I cried as I ran over to him. Thankfully, it finally stopped as he panted.
What did you do to him?
Monarch demanded as Robotnik finally noticed him apparently.
What do we have here? Another Sonic?
Robotnik asked in astonishment as he put the cuffs on Modern next.
Yeah, you can refer to me as Modern. I've dealt with my world's version of you for a long time. So if you think you're going to win long term, think again. Just wait until
Modern's rant was caught up as the same happened to him.
Well, Modern, as for the cuffs, you'll find out soon enough.
Robotnik said as he put them on Silver and then Shadow.
And now for you, little hybrid.
Robotnik said as he came over to Mingy. I was nervous, but I wouldn't let anything happen to Longclaw or their parents, so I held still. Once the cuffs were on, I felt the most agonizing pain as I felt myself passing out.
As the cuffs tased Marina, she was changing to her human form as she passed out. Movie Sonic immediately caught her in his arms before she could hit the ground.
Marina? Can you hear me? Eggman, what did you do to her? Why did she pass out? And what caused her to turn to her normal form like that?
Movie Sonic demanded in a panicked rage. However, Robotnik ignored him.
Now, to finish my machine, it will have its first test run by tomorrow morning.
Robotnik said as he left, laughing maniacally. Marina's point of view.
As I regained my consciousness, I could hear a voice.
Marina! Can you hear me?
Sonic said as my hearing and vision cleared. Sonic? What happened? I asked as I sat up.
Oh, thank goodness you're alright. As for what happened, you fainted as you changed to your original form. I have no idea how though.
Sonic replied as he held me close. That's why I realized I was still in it. I tried to switch back to my Mobian form, but it didn't work. Guys, I can't switch back.
Modern Sonic's point of view.
When Marina said that, Silver immediately had a look of concentration on his face as he held his hand down in front of him.
My psychokinesis isn't working either.
Chaos control!
Shadow exclaimed, but nothing happened. Then they stared at me and Movie Sonic. I could see the realization hit Movie Sonic hard by the look on his face.
No, it can't be. They actually did it.
Sonic said quietly with the most horrified look on his face as tears fell from his eyes. He began to tremble violently and hyperventilate. Shadow immediately hugged him as Movie Sonic screamed in anguish over and over again.
It's going to be alright. Please calm down, little bro.
Shadow said desperately as he did everything to soothe Movie Sonic, but nothing worked. None of us could calm him down. It was horrible.
Maddie's point of view.
Not long after being separated from our kids, I began to lose as I started to sob. Once we were locked in the cell, I began to pace, trying to think of a plan to get us out of this mess. However, it was brought to a halt when I heard the most heartbreaking sound echo throughout the village. Guys, do you hear that? I asked shakily as I heard horrible screams of anguish that seemed they would go on forever. I immediately plugged my ears as I realized who was emanating those screams. It was Sonic. It was the most horribly intense sound his voice ever uttered. That's Sonic! What is happening over there?
Longclaw said in a panic, so I turned to Knuckles. Hey! My son needs us! Please, take us over there so we can help him! I begged shakily, still trying to block this noise out.
By the way, what are your names?
Knuckles reluctantly replied as he began to escort us. I'm Maddie, and this is my husband Tom. Once we arrived, I saw Sonic looking absolutely distraught as he continued to scream. Shadow was holding him close, rocking him slightly, trying to calm him down. But what was most concerning was the fact that his chaos energy didn't manifest. With how distressed he was, it would have been triggered. Oh, my poor baby! You have to let us in there! I said frantically as I ran towards the cell door, with Tom and Longclaw not too far behind me. Knuckles sighed and opened the door. We immediately ran over to him.
Movie Sonic's point of view.
Once I realized what the cuffs had done to me, I began screaming. I couldn't see nor hear anything. I knew my loved ones were trying to help me out of it, but I couldn't stop screaming. It was absolutely terrifying. But suddenly, I sensed a new presence in the cell. I was finally able to hear and see again when I saw who it was. My screaming finally stopped. Mom? Dad? Longclaw? I asked in disbelief, still very shaken up from my screaming state.
Yes, baby, we're here.
Mom said, and as she and Dad hugged me, I started sobbing as I hugged them back tightly.
Shh. It's going to be okay, Sonic. But what was making you scream like that? We could hear you all the way on the other side of the village where the cell was.
Mom asked me after kissing my forehead. Robotnik made these cuffs and they block our powers. And since it's more directly than that serum that Gun created, I freaked out real bad. I could tell everyone was trying to calm me down, but I couldn't see them nor hear what they were saying. That is, until I felt you guys enter the cell. I explained as I finally relaxed in their arms.
Oh, my poor baby. Don't worry, Sonic. We'll get out of this eventually. We just need to convince them to let us go willingly.
Thank you for coming to help me. I love you guys so much.
We better get back now. If Chief Patrick Mack finds out about this, it won't end well for anyone.
Knuckles warned seriously, so before he could take them back, me and my brothers gave him one last hug.
Marina's point of view.
The moment Tom and Maddie and Longclaw were gone, Sonic laid his head on my lap.
Marina, could you rub my ears? I'm exhausted.
Of course, my love. I said as I began to do just that.
He's right. It's still the middle of the night. We better rest up.
Modern said softly in agreement, so we made ourselves comfortable as we could and fell asleep.
Modern Sonic's point of view.
In the morning, we were woken up by Chief Patrick Mack, with Knuckles and Robotnik not too far behind him. As we stood up, Chief Patrick Mack gasped in disgust.
Where is the hedgehog girl? And who is she?
Chief Patrick Mack demanded as he pointed at Marina.
I am her. That form was an ability I gave myself thanks to these cuffs. It's blocked.
What are your names, by the way? And why do you look like the blue hedgehog?
Chief Patrick Mack asked as he pointed to me. I'm an alternate version of the blue hedgehog, Modern Sonic. I replied and Chief Patrick Mack's jaw dropped.
As for me, I'm Marina Melody.
I'm Movie Sonic, Marina's true love.
Movie Sonic said as he instinctively stood in front of her.
I'm Shadow, Movie Sonic's big brother.
And I'm Silver, Movie Sonic's little brother.
Silver said shakily as Shadow held him close to comfort him.
Well now, it's time for that test run. The question is, who will go first?
Robotnik said as he looked sadistically at all of us. That's when it dawned on them. I couldn't bear to see them as horrified as they were now.
What? No volunteers? Come on, surely there must be someone.
Then, to our surprise, Movie Sonic stepped forward.
Sonic, what are you doing?
This is all my fault. You're in danger because they're after me. It's only fitting that I go first.
Movie Sonic screamed as I saw tears fall down his face.
Sonic, please don't blame yourself. It's their fault. They couldn't let this go.
Knuckles, get some troops. It's time to escort you to your fates.
As you wish, Chief Patrick Mack.
Knuckles said and ran off to do just that. A few minutes later, he came back with more guards.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Robotnik said as he unlocked the cell and began leading us to wherever this machine was.
Yeah, we gotta see this, right, Veronica?
Jade said as she followed us. I saw that Veronica was unsure about that.
Right.
Veronica said hesitantly as she caught up.
A few minutes later, they arrived at the machine. Robotnik immediately put Movie Sonic into it, thanks to the cuff being also made for the machine, and he was now hanging by his arms, with a very scared look on his face.
Now we're not taking your powers just yet. We need to see if you'll survive the effect the machine will have on you as it takes them.
Robotnik said as he made the proper adjustments to the machine.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
Marina cried as she attempted to get closer, only for Knuckles to hold her back. Robotnik didn't reply as he just pushed the button. Marina's point of view.
The moment Robotnik pushed that button, Sonic began convulsing as he shrieked in pain. If it weren't for Knuckles and these stupid cuffs holding me back, I would have knocked Robotnik out myself. It was horrible. Sonic was in so much pain. Then it finally stopped, and the machine released him. Sonic looked ready to pass out as he collapsed on the ground, with his fur looking singed in several places. He looked even worse than he did at the end of his first encounter with Robotnik. No, Sonic! I cried as I was finally able to get to him, and then I held him in my arms. Sonic, stay with me! Can you hear me? I said desperately as I tried to keep him conscious.
I'm here, Marina. My body hurts so much.
Sonic said groggily in between his heavy breathing. Shh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. I said as I held him closer. However, he was pulled away from me as I felt Robotnik grab me.
Now to take your power while he recovers. But first, let me make an adjustment on your cuffs so you can still transform.
Robotnik said viciously as he did just that, and I immediately switched to my Mobian form.
Movie Sonic's point of view.
After that test run, I couldn't move, aside from the twitches from the leftover electricity in my body. So when I saw what Robotnik was doing, I couldn't do anything. Come on, Sonic! Get up! Move! I screamed at myself as I tried to get my body to do something. Even with the cuffs, I could feel my dark form begging to be freed. That's when I heard Marina screaming. I looked up as her teal chaos energy was being sucked out of her, while her eyes were glowing in a white light. That's when I snapped. No, I will not stand for this any longer, I screamed. Then by some miracle, I destroyed the cuffs from my outburst as my dark sonic form finally manifested.
Meanwhile, on Tom and Maddie and Longclaw's cell, before Movie Sonic snapped, Maddie was once again pacing. Suddenly her phone rang. It was Rachel.
Maddie, where are you? What's going on? And why is Annika here?
Annika is there for her safety. As for us, the ones who forced Sonic from Mobius are back and took us. We'll get out of here somehow, I promise. We just need to play it safe for now.
Okay, sis. Stay safe.
You got it, Rachel.
Maddie said and hung up. As she did, she heard Movie Sonic screams of pain.
Oh my gosh, what are they doing to him?
Maddie exclaimed as she realized the cell was unguarded.
Okay, we need to escape now.
Maddie said as she examined the lock on the cell door.
Agreed, Maddie. But what's the plan once we get to them, let alone getting out of this cell in the first place?
Don't worry, Tom, because I brought this.
Maddie said as she pulled out a lockpick.
Way to go, man.
Tom said and kissed her cheek.
Where did you learn how to do that?
I took a class for it in school.
Maddie replied as she began to pick the lock. A few moments later, they heard a distinct click.
Yes! Come on, guys. Let's save our family.
Maddie said as they left the cell.
No! I will not stand for this any longer!
They heard Movie Sonic yell as they ran towards the ruckus.
Oh no, that sounds like Sonic going into his dark Sonic form.
Tom said as they ran faster. Modern Sonic's point of view.
I couldn't believe it. Movie Sonic shattered through his power-blocking cuffs and he turned into Dark Movie Sonic. The anger in his voice was intense. It even shook me up a little. Once he was free, he knocked Robotnik out.
Hang on, Marina!
Dark Movie Sonic said as he pushed the button to stop the machine and released Marina, who passed out and switched back to her human form. Then he destroyed our cuffs and held Marina close to him as she began to regain consciousness.
Marina, are you okay?
Movie Sonic asked in concern as he turned back to normal, while Shadow ran over with the rest of us not too far behind him, including Tom, Maddie, and Longclaw.
No. Shadow, do you think you can heal me?
Of course, Marina. Chaos heal.
Thanks, Shadow.
Marina said as she stood up. Then she tried going into her Mobium form, and it worked.
Thanks for saving me, Sonic.
But before Movie Sonic could reply, Robotnik woke up, which triggered Movie Sonic's dark form again.
What the heck is this? Sure, edgy form?
Dark Sonic form, actually. So stay back. You do not want to mess with me while I'm in this form.
Dark Movie Sonic said warningly as he prepared an energy ball in his hand, just in case. Modern Sonic's point of view.
As this was all happening, I ran over to Tom, Maddie, and Longclaw. What are you three doing here?
We couldn't stand by while Sonic was in pain again. It's time to end this madness, somehow.
Maddie replied while Tom and Longclaw nodded in agreement. But that's when the echidnas surrounded us.
Well, you're more powerful than we thought. I knew not letting this go would be worth it.
And what are you three doing out of your cell?
Knuckles demanded as he signaled to the echidnas surrounding Tom, Maddie, and Longclaw to point their spears at them.
Knuckles, stop. This is the worst time to threaten our loved ones.
That's it! This is over!
Dark Movie Sonic said as he let out an energy blast that knocked out all the echidnas, Robotnik, Jade, and Veronica, and destroyed the machine. Whoa! Is that new? I asked in awe.
Yep.
Silver said simply as Movie Sonic turned back to normal but was injured again. Shadow quickly healed him too.
There's one more thing to do. We need to make sure they can't leave Mobius ever again.
I agree. They're not going to let this go.
But how are we going to do that?
Well, Beryl has been visiting me and teaching me some more spells. And thanks to my Mobian form, I have photographic memory. So I'll make them forget their hunger for power, especially from us.
Marina said and did just that.
Way to go, Marina!
Oh no. Guys? We don't have a way back, do we?
I'm afraid not. I can't teleport that far yet. Also, what do we do about those three?
Shadow replied as he pointed to Jade, Veronica, and Robotnik.
A ring, of course. If only we could find one.
Sonic said as suddenly Knuckles woke up.
I'm afraid the rings we used to bring you here were our last ones. Also, I'm so sorry for what we did. It was dishonorable.
Apology accepted. I'm sure I can find one on the ground somewhere.
Movie Sonic said as he prepared to dash off. A few minutes later, he found only one.
Sorry, guys. I can only find one. They're rarer than I thought.
Movie Sonic said as he presented it.
Don't worry, Sonic. I'm sure we'll find another way home eventually. Now let's send them back to gun headquarters ASAP.
Marina said as Tom and Maddie carried them to one spot. Then Movie Sonic threw the ring onto them and it led directly into a cell.
I could attempt to teleport, if you're okay with that.
Go for it, Shadow.
Chaos Control!
Shadow said as they began to vanish. Little did they know what it would do.